We're live, I think. Yes, we're live. Hi, everybody that's going to be joining us, I hope, soon. It's about that time where everybody should be jumping on. We'll see what's going on. We are building another character. Did one last night, did one on Tuesday night, did one on Monday night, did two on Sunday. So we are going to be building a character with Dave or David? Dave, right?
Dave's good. Yeah.
Dave over at Nerdarchy. I am phenomenally just like humbled by the fact that you're allowing me to torture you for 2.5 hours. It'll be fun.
Hey, why not?
So how's your day been?
Good, man.
Good.
Just living the dream.
Well, I'm glad you're living the dream. I'm still trying to get to the dream.
A dream, anyway.
At least a dream, one of the dreams.
Yeah.
So we are going to be creating a Legends of Kralis character for the first time with you. You've got years and years of RPG experience behind you. I know that we talked a while ago that you've played things like Call of Cthulhu and games by Chaosium. Yeah,
I have not
you
actually.
have not. Oh, I thought we.
No.
Oh. So you've never played a D100 system?
I have played. Let's see. I played a couple D100 systems. So Marvel Phase Rip is technically a D100 system.
It is. I'm just looking see if I can out here.
And then also I've played a newer game called Maximum Apocalypse. It's actually based off of a board game that they turned into an RPG, which is it is also a D100 under.
That's brilliant. Now, just out of curiosity, is your Kickstarter still going on or is it done?
It is done. We've successfully funded.
Fantastic.
We just under 40K.
Right on. That looks like it's gonna be it's gonna be a good thing. And I know that Mootly was very promoting it on TikTok, so give her thumbs up on that. So that's awesome.
Yeah, Mootly is very kind to us. She's awesome.
She's kind to a lot of people. I mean, that's how she got me to us to talk because of Mootly.
Yeah.
So I don't know. We need to send Mootly like some really awesome stuff.
Yeah, we are playing a Cypher System superheroes game,
right?
And she's playing in that game with us.
Yeah, I haven't. Is that streamed? Because I haven't seen anything on YouTube. Is it?
It is streamed on our live channel.
On your live
channel? Like 6 sessions in, yeah.
I'm definitely gonna have to go check that out because I knew it was happening. I just didn't know it was happening already.
Yeah, I mean it's they're only 2-hour sessions, so it's pretty digestible. We don't like to stream. I don't like to stream anything over 2 hours. It's like
I'm starting to find
seems like a good number.
Right. I'm starting to find a lot of streamers are actually doing like an hour and a half to 2 hours, maybe 2.5 hours at most. Like little vignette movies because the human capability of actually standing and watching something for 4 hours is becoming like we can't do that. We can at least do 2.5 hours, right? I mean,
not streams anyway. Well, every streamer you talk to, and if you like even if you just watch your own analytics, what you'll see is once you hit the 2-hour mark, it's like a cliff, and it's just like everyone drops off. But for me, like part of it is okay. People don't really watch past 2 hours is part of it, but the other part is just like I don't really like sitting in front of a computer for that long playing a game. At the table, 5-6 hours, no problem.
Right.
But you're getting up, you're moving around. You're not.
Right. Isn't it? Isn't that strange how we can sit 5, 6, 7, 8 hours at a table with friends around us live, but sitting at a computer, it almost feels like almost in one sense like it's work, and we're being imposed with the technology around us. Yeah, no, I totally feel that.
Well, also like it depends too. Like a little bit longer with just friends playing a game is easier, but if you're doing like a stream show, I feel like it takes a little more out of you.
Right. No,
but also like even just playing the game, right? Like I feel you get more gaming in when you do it online. You're just like zoomed in and focused.
Well, that's true. Unless, of course, you have really amazing players that you want to get to a combat. There's supposed to be a combat here, and then your players decide to role play for that hour and a half, and you're just sitting there going, "Well, that's a good story. Keep going."
Yeah.
Right? And you're like, "Oh." Right. So, all right. So, what we're gonna do is we're gonna go ahead and get started with this character creation. You haven't really sat down with the book on the player's side for very much, so I guess we're just gonna start and dive in. If you've got this up on your screen at home. And for everybody here, I think it's page 18. Probably no. Of course it's not. It's gonna be page 20, isn't it? Yes, page 20. Page 20 gives us the quick species reference guide, right? And it gives you a great little chart here of all the different species and what they look like. You said that you were interested in playing the series, the forearms
I am.
individuals. Right
I
on.
am.
All right. So
Something about what is the Mortal Kombat character?
Goro.
Oro, yeah.
Goro. Yeah, that's where everybody thinks their mind goes immediately. And I don't know if I can't say that I'm not influenced by Goro. I don't know
Yeah.
why I chose forearms other than I liked the fact that maybe it was Goro and I just
Yeah.
never thought about it. All right, so if you're here on this page, Dave, if you click on the series, it'll take you to the series beginning page.
All right, and I already have it open up to that page. So.
Awesome. All right, so the way we normally do this is, and I've got if you go like it starts at the beginning on page 15, it's got step 1, step 2, step 3, step 4, step 5, step 6, all the way through to character completion for you. And so I do things just a little differently, obviously, because I'm showing you how to do it.
Yeah.
So what we're going to do is we are on our character sheet. The first page, the first section we're going to start to begin to fill out is on the page 2, and it's the species, features, and traits section, right? And what we are going to do there, and we're going to flip back and forth now between the player's guide and this particular section, and we'll do that a lot throughout the game or throughout the time. I'm going to start with actually the fifth line down with languages. If you're able to, I just copy and paste their languages, starting with Iklan and going all the way to common. I'll just grab that and I will copy and paste it, and I will put it in I'll paste it in the species, features, and traits.
I'm a big fan of copying and pasting.
I am too. Cool.
Right.
All right. The next thing we're going to do is going to go down to resistances in a sense. They gain a plus 10% plus 10 to their perception checks versus surprise checks to be surprised and sneak attacks, which is something that comes up in combat. I'm just going to grab the same thing. I'm going to grab that particular portion of it. I'm going to go back to the species, features, and traits, hit enter, and paste it in.
So the PDF seems a little bit finicky.
Yeah, PDFs can be that way. I've done the best I can to try to make it as easy as usable as possible, but I'm still limited.
Yeah. No worries.
No worries.
Yeah, I don't know if it's like, I don't know. Like, I wouldn't even know how to begin to lay it out, so I couldn't. So I have nothing to offer.
Yeah, I actually had to go back and start relearning JavaScripting a little bit to be able to do some of the things that are in this, and it still blows my mind that I'm still capable of doing it. I'm like, wow, well, that's
Yeah.
cool. So the next thing we're going to do is still in resistances. You'll notice it says plus 10 versus horror checks. So what we're going to do is we're not going to copy and paste that. What we're going to do is we're going to go up just a little bit on our sheet, and we're going to go to this little gray box on the bottom right. These are the basic skills and stuff that everybody gets. And we're going to put a plus 10 for your horror. So we're just going to put a plus 10 in there for right now, because when we generate our attributes, we'll fill that out when we get done.
Okay.
As we get done with that section. The next section we're going to do is you see a series bonuses. They gain a plus 300 pounds to their maximum lift. So on the second page, where there's the species, features, and traits, there's a wealth box, and then there's an encumbrance. In the max lift, we're just going to go ahead and put in there plus 300 pounds. So plus 300. And we're going to also adjust that when we get to that section as well.
That's 3,000, not 300.
Yeah, 30. I actually put 3,300. I was like, no, that'd be incredible. All right, so
so strong.
The series traits for multiple limbs and empathic, you're gonna have to kind of, because there's a lot of information there. I call it cliff noting it. And so what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna go over to the character sheet, and this is gonna still be in the features and traits. It's not an ability; it's a feature and trait. I'm gonna put in multiple limbs. You can copy it if you like.
All right.
And basically, what they do is they gain a plus 15 bonus to their grapple and reduce the penalties of multiple strike by 5.
I'm running out of box.
No, it should begin to shrink up into it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it should. If it doesn't, let me know. Um, let me know when you're done with the multiple limbs part.
I've got multiple limbs.
Cool. And you got a plus 15 bonus to grapple checks and reduce penalties of multiple strike by 5?
Let's see. I've got it in there. Does that go someplace else as well, or just
No, it
in
just
that
goes there.
box?
Just goes there.
Yeah.
Cool. All right. So, as series are empathic creatures, they have the uncanny ability to read other people's emotions, basic emotions. So they get two type: combat empathy and interaction. So the first one, combat empathy, is a little detailed. You can make a wits check, and when you are successful at this, you gain a +5 to either your attack skill or your defense check per every 3 wits successes. So I'm just going to actually grab where it says wits check and go all the way down to the end of the sentence there. And I'm going to grab that and I'm going to put that in combat with a wits check. And then the last one's going to be interaction. And this is where this gets kind of cool. So with the interaction part of empathy, they gain a +10 bonus to convince, gaming, haggling. You ever look at a word and go, God, that's not spelled right, but it is? And your brain doesn't want to pronounce it correctly. Mine happens all the time. So that's, if you can see my screen right now, Dave, that's what it should look like ultimately. That's how I've got it.
Okay. Yeah, it does kind of look like that.
Right.
I think like the graphics sometimes when I go to grab like the copy and paste, it'll grab the graphics that are probably on a different layer.
Sometimes, yeah. No, I know what you're saying. And then sometimes what it'll do is it won't grab exactly and it jumps and it's like, what are you doing?
Yeah, yeah.
So what we're also going to do now with that information is we're going to go up to the first page in the big chunk of information they're called skills. And just
Okay.
because it's always on, right? It's not like a thing you have to turn on and turn off. These interactions are, they're just a part of who you are as in the series by nature. We're going to go ahead and give ourselves a +10 to our convince because we're going to, once we get ready to do skills, we'll do that later. +10 to our convince, +10 to our gaming, +10 to the haggle, and then a +10 to the interrogate. And when we get ready to do our skills determination, we'll take care of that then. All right.
Say gaming?
Gaming, like gaming. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, there it is.
Yeah.
Let's see.
And
Okay.
then did you get the haggle too?
I did. I got
Right, awesome.
gaming, haggle, convince.
Cool. All right. So as a character in Legends of Kralis, you begin with 5 abilities. 2 that you're going to gain from your species, 2 from your focus, and then 1 that you get to choose depending on what you want to do. Now, your archetype, did you want to be like a martial artist or
Yeah.
okay.
I got all these fists. I want to use them.
You want to be Goro is basically what you want is what you're
Yeah.
choosing. All right, right on. So right off the bat, what we're gonna do is we're gonna give you 2 species abilities that you get to choose. right? They are listed down in the little box, but over on the left hand side of that is is the descriptor of what these abilities do for you. So pick two, and then
All
let me
right.
know what they
So
are. Hello, out of print. How are you, sir? This is Dave from Nerdarchy, who's rolling up his first character to join the legions of legends.
definitely liking hardy, and I think we'll go endurance and hardy.
Endurance and hardy. All right, fantastic. So what I'll do is I'll just we'll grab endurance first, right? I just grabbed the word endurance, and this is going to be the first time we're actually going to put something in the ability section because it's an actual ability. We're going to put endurance in there, and then endurance gives you a plus 20 bonus on any stamina checks to avoid exhaustion, as well as all this other stuff. So I'm just going to basically grab everything except the first part of the sentence, which is important because it's information that you're going to need eventually. And what's cool about it is that when you're running or sprinting, which causes you to spend fatigue,
Mhm.
um, you will lose fatigue, right? And so sprinting allows you to move 4 times your normal speed. Running allows you to do 3 times, and then you can do a hustle, which is 2 times. Um, that costs like 5 or 10 fatigue for you to move. It's really nominal, but the sprinting allows you to like do more of that, and also, yeah, you don't suffer. Basically, you're not going to suffer fatigue from moving uh, quickly, right? And
Move
then
like a mofo. Gotcha.
say again.
I move like a mofo.
Yeah, that's right. You absolutely do. So, hardy. So that means you're going to be immune to poison types A, B, and C. And then you gain a magical plus 10 defense against one of the following elements: either earth, air, fire, water, spirit, or essence.
All right. Those don't mean anything to me.
Right.
Uh,
So basically what they are is elements that so our spellcasting system is based off of elements, right? Earth, air,
mhm.
fire, water, air, spirit, and essence, right? And so obviously, you know, Earth is going to have anything that has like a lot of earthy material in it. Air is going to be things like lightning bolt. Fire is going to be things like firebolt or fireball or quintessence orbs. Water is going to be things that can freeze or do damage to you. Spirit or essence. Spirit is like a summoning portion of magic, where essence is very. It's not necessarily evil. It can be used for evil, but it's a darker type
Mhm.
of magic. And what you
Which
do,
which one will kind of equate to like having more willpower?
none of them.
None of them. Okay.
Right. So what you're gaining here is a plus 10 additional defense against those particular elements. So if someone comes
Okay.
along and they cast like an air bolt at you,
Yeah.
you have a normal magic defense, but because it's an air elemental type, you gain an
Yeah.
additional plus 10 to that.
In that case, I will go with fire.
All right. Fire is a good one because fire has an ability to continue to burn long after it's done. So what we'll do here is on the sheet, if you're watching me, I'm going to put in here plus 10 magical defense versus fire elements, fire element
Okay.
elements. And that actually applies to anything that is magical and has fire in it, right? Does not apply to Dragon's Breath because Dragon's Breath is not a magical thing; it's actually a physical force that they do. But let's say that you were fighting a elemental creature made out of fire, you gave a
Mm.
plus 10 defense to their magic, any damage that would be coming from them from their magical source or something like that. Depends on the rules and what you want to do, but it allows you to do that. Okay, and we are done with that portion.
Okay. Piece
Next
of
portion,
cake.
say again.
Piece of cake. Piece of cake.
Piece of cake. So before we jump into actually rolling things and things like that, and before we leave, we need to fill out the top portion, the very top of the first part of the character sheet. We're
Uh-huh.
gonna determine your character name. You
And
are
Hanani, Badger.
Anani. Oh, you like that one, huh? Right on.
I did.
So Anani, uh,
Got the
Anani or
species
Nani.
in there.
Right. And a lot of times, the most the series don't have a last name. They are just known as that.
Okay.
Right. You could add a surname if you so like, but there is no requirement for them. They are medium sized. Make sure you've also you've picked the series. And right now, because I know what you want to do, your focus is going to be combat, right? So go ahead and
Okay.
pick that, and in rank, just put one.
Focus combat, and it's already there. So rank 1. Okay.
Cool.
Perfect.
All right. Now what we're going to do is we're going to get into the actual character attributes, determining these things. And this is where we're going to actually be using the attribute determination table, right?
All
Which you
right.
have. So what
Yes.
we are going to do is we base everything off for our species or races off of their size. So smaller creatures are going to be deficient in some things, larger creatures are going to be deficient in other things. Medium creatures are not going to have bonuses to any one. They're just going to start off with a base. So as a medium creature, if you're looking at this, your base size column, all of those are going to be 50. So just go ahead and put 50 in all of those.
All right.
All right. Now we say here the next column is dice roll. Um, we are allow you to roll your dice and then place them wherever you want after you're done rolling. So I normally put everything in the campaign modifier and then move things over. So now what you're going to do is you're going to roll 4d10, re-roll
Okay.
any ones, and then discard the lowest and let me know what those numbers are.
All right. So 4d10 discard ones. All right. So we discard ones or re-roll them.
You re-roll the ones and discard the lowest.
Okay. All right. So my lowest is a 3, so I discard that, right?
Yep.
And then I've got 7, 8, and a 5. So you just add them together.
Yep. Add them together. That's a 20.
All right. Okay. And we're gonna do this for each of them. I take it.
Yep. All the way down.
All right.
It's going
All
down.
right. Really good at rolling these. Oh my god. Really good at rolling ones. Okay, discard the 2. That's 17, 20. Oh, that's my number, huh? 20.
20.
Very average.
Well, you're above average. Average would be 15. 15.5.
Let's see. It's a 1. All right. Disregard that. 19, 25.
Right on.
I've gotten to re-roll plenty of ones though, I will say. That's a 24.
24.
Oh, my first roll without a 1. All right. Three. $23. $18.
More left. Yeah.
Another 18.
So I've got scores of 20, 20, 25, 24, 23, and I think I may have missed one.
23 again.
So two
Then
23s
18, 18.
Two 18s. All right, right on. All right, so you get to decide on your martial arts. Are you going to be a strength martial artist or an agility martial artist? Right. So you get to decide what you want to do with that. Yeah. So
Okay.
you can either hit somebody really, really hard with your strength, which is something you may want to do, or really, really fast with your agility in a sense, right?
I'm gonna go strength.
You're gonna use strength.
Yeah.
All right, so
I'm
let's go ahead and
going to.
take that 25 and drop it in there. So now you can start to put things, some things that are going to be important to you as a martial artist: willpower, perception and agility, stamina, kind of, but not really. I
Okay.
wouldn't put, yeah, I wouldn't overly worry about it, but I would definitely put that. So
All
we're
right. So I'm going to dump charisma with 18.
okay.
I will also dump intelligence with my 18.
Okay.
And then I'll put my 24 in willpower,
Okay.
uh, 23 in perception, 23 in agility, and that leaves me with 20 for stamina and 24 wits.
All right, not bad. That's not really a that's not a bad roll actually. I mean, you're for a medium creature, you're pretty good as a standard rolls, really, honestly. All right. So the next thing we're going to do is we're going to assign attribute modifiers based off of either your species, or if you choose to want to do something different, we also have a rule that allows the GM to say, okay, if none of the standards meet what you want to do, you
Mhm.
can use the 2+10 to any two attributes and a +5 to any one rule. The standard for a series is to give them a +10 to any two, which are their strength, agility, willpower, and charisma.
All right. I'll go with the standard. And what are the options?
Strength, agility, willpower, or charisma.
Okay. And they get a plus 10 to
Plus
two of
10.
those.
Yes, sir.
All right.
Yes, sir.
And it
Or
was okay.
you know you want to put it
Strength.
in strength. You know you
Okay.
want to put +10 in strength.
I do want to put a test plus 10
Yeah.
on strength.
And then one other in another +10 into agility, and willpower or charisma.
I'll go with willpower.
All right. All right. We're almost done. So the next page we're going to be on is page 54, where we focus, where we talk about character focuses. Character
All right.
focuses is as close to classes as that Legends of Kralis comes, because we decided that you can basically boil down any archetype into four categories. You're either a fighter, you're a brainy person, you're a social person, or you're a sneaky person, basically, right? That's it. So what we have is we have four different types of focuses: combat, knowledge, social, and stealth. Martial arts can be anything you want, right? Um, but as a skill, martial arts is considered a combat skill. So if you
Mhm.
choose combat focus as your focus, that skill would gain what we call a focus bonus of +10 to it when you decide to take those skills. Again, you don't have to do that. You can
Yeah, I'm
choose
cool
to.
with that.
All right, cool. All right, since you decided to go with combat, we gain some final focus modifiers that are in the table 3 focus modifiers table. You
Uh,
automatically gain +5 to your stamina. Just it happens. And then
okay.
you get to place another +5 into either strength, agility, or perception.
Let's see. You know, we're just gonna put in strength. Why not?
All right, 90 strength, brilliant. All right, now with you becoming a combat focus, there's a couple other things that happen that you gain for that choice. As a skills, you gain one additional free combat skill, and I'm just gonna put it in this little box over here so we know that it's there, so we don't forget it. It's just a note for me.
Okay.
That way I don't forget.
Okay.
And then the other cool thing about being a combat focus individual is we have skills, right? We have skills that you're trained in, and then some skills you'll not be trained in, but if so long as they don't have a T next to them, you can try them. Even at high
Okay.
ranks, you go, I don't have that skill, but I want to try it. Cool, go ahead for it and stuff like that. Um, any any weapon that you pick up that you're not trained in, you automatically have a +10 to it. So
Okay.
it's just like I know how to fire that gun. I know how to use that sword. Not as good as um, the fighter that actually focused in that, but I can pick it up and defend myself if I need to. All right. So I'm going to grab that section. I'm going to go to a character sheet, and I'm going to put this in my features, species, features, and traits, just so I have it there.
So you can also choose to swap out those combat skills for general skills. Is that what this
Right. So
is
yeah,
saying?
so that's another portion of that, right? So you can so every focus gets 4 focus skills. You could decide that, I'm only going to take 2 of those in combat, and then I'm going to take 2 in general that I'm going to focus in, right?
Okay.
If you want to do that, that's an option. And
Okay.
before we get done, before we need to finish here, what we need to do now is we need to take the attributes that you rolled up, and we need to put them in the character sheet. So you go to the top where it says attributes.
Mm-hmm.
And what I'm going to do is I'm going to tell you what the numbers are, and you're just going to
Okay.
put them in, so you don't have to flip back and forth.
Okay.
All right. So the first one is your for strength is going to be 90,
Okay.
75 for stamina, 73 for agility and perception, 68 for intelligence, 70 for wits, 84 for willpower, and I believe it was 68 for charisma.
All right.
And it should have just automatically populated your modifiers, your attribute modifiers, which are those smaller numbers there.
Yes.
Cool. The next thing we're going to do now is in the combat focus. Like I said at the beginning of the stream, every character starts off with 5 abilities, right? 2 from your focus, 2 from your species, 2 from your focus, and the one you choose. Now we're going to choose 2 combat focuses for you. Being a martial artist, one of the ones that I would suggest taking is martial arts technique, which allows you to have a cool kind of bonus for your attacks and your defenses. That's generally one that everybody takes really quickly.
Okay.
And if you want to read more about it, we can definitely go over there, and you can. It's really kind of cool. They got specific techniques, like one of the ones that's my favorite. It's called 51 fierce fighting butterflies. Which allows you to gain additional attacks by spending an additional 20 fatigue equal to the total number of attacks you normally have. So let's say you have 3 attacks. By spending 20 fatigue, you can up that to 6 in one turn.
So okay. So for martial arts techniques, that's the umbrella, and all these fall under it.
Uh, that's the umbrella that these little. Are you there at that page right now?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay,
I,
cool.
I
Yeah.
clicked it and it took me there. So
Yeah. So basically, that's the umbrella. And then what you would be able to do here at this point is you gain 1 defensive technique and 1 offensive technique.
okay.
And since we're here, let's go ahead and choose it.
All right. I like the names.
Being a martial artist myself, I was like, I've got to steal some of these old kung fu names that I
Yeah.
watched in
Yeah.
the 70s, and I need to put them in.
Where's Monkey Steals Peaches? Got Monkey Paints the Sun.
I believe it's actually nope. Yeah, I know what that does, and I was like, no, I'm not going to put that in there. I wasn't sure if it was an actual offensive technique. Yeah, it's not.
Mhm.
But yeah, I know what you're talking.
Battling paper technique.
So the first
Blind Phoenix explosion technique. That sounds pretty cool. Throwing people.
yeah, as a martial artist, if you take the tiger martial arts style, you can actually pick up people and throw them, and literally you can throw them wherever you want. You're accurate with that. and you gain some additional bonuses with your hands to do damage. The martial arts uh, snake style actually allows you to paralyze people with strikes.
Oh, okay.
But these are your techniques. These are things that you can do that give you a bonus to either your attack or your defenses for the most part.
Oh, so you don't have to pick, or you do have to pick from these, or
You have
no?
to, yeah, you have to pick from
Pick
them.
one of each.
Right, pick one of each because you can never pick the same one twice.
Okay. Oh, well, that's not very defense. I guess the best defense is a good offense. But I take the cunning tiger technique.
So a plus 10 to your initiative.
Yeah.
Okay. And then get one of the offensive techniques.
Oh, where do I put this? Where would these go? Abilities?
No, so if you look at yeah, it's going to go to abilities. And if you look on my screen, what I'm showing you here is martial arts
Okay.
technique, cunning tiger technique. I'm
Yeah.
getting that one first, and then I'm when you decide your offensive technique is we'll copy that, and then we'll put the right numbers in the right spots real quick.
Okay.
And the one that I like I said, the 51 fierce fighting butterflies techniques. By sacrificing 20 fatigue, you gain an additional free attack for every attack you normally would have during your turn. But they all have to be against one opponent. So
Okay.
based on your skill score, you could potentially have six attacks right off the bat
Oh, okay. If I'm willing to get tired.
if you're willing to get a little tired.
Okay. Oh, okay. I'm liking some of these. You know what? I honestly like a lot of times I like the non-fancy ones that are just like reliable. So I am gonna go with Grace betrays innocence technique.
That's a good one.
I know it might not be as flashy as some of the others, but
No, it basically
seems
increases your base
consistent.
damage. Yeah, so it increases your base damage by for your attacks by +1. So we'll put there as I type in +1 bonus damage or base damage. Sorry, base damage. 1+1 base damage to martial art strikes. And again, that can be any how you describe it as a player, right? It could be punching, it can be finger knifing, it could be poking someone in the eye, it could be a jump front kick, hooking kick, you know, whatever. However you want to describe it.
Cool. All right. What's next?
So what we're gonna do now is we're gonna actually take that bone where it says you gain +10 bonus to your initiative. We're gonna go to the
Hmm.
top of your character sheet,
All
and there
right.
is a miscellaneous modifier there. We're just gonna put +10 in there right now. So when we determine, let's say we go into combat and in the GM calls for your initiative roll, you will roll a D10 and add it to 22. So you're gonna go incredibly fast right off the bat, unless there's somebody
Okay.
who's got a technique that allows them to always go first. And there is an ability that allows you to always go first at the beginning of combat.
I just want to e Honda somebody with like four arms.
There you go. Right on. And then what we're going to do here is your base damage. We're going to put a +1 there. That way, when we get ready to assign base damage based off your attacks, we know we get a +1 bonus damage, base damage to that based off of your techniques. All right.
Okay.
Now we are going to go back to character focuses. It's going to be page 54 for you.
All right. So 54. Okay. What are we looking at?
We're going to choose a second ability. We've only chosen one.
Oh, okay. Um, there's definitely some cool sounding ones.
So how do you see Honani being? Are they going to be like an acrobatic martial artist, like jumping and flipping and doing all kinds of cool things like that, or are they going to be like they stand their ground and they
I'm thinking
punch?
stand their ground. Is there anything that I can do to be more resilient to damage if I'm not, and especially if I'm not wearing armor?
Not with these particular abilities. There are abilities that allow
Okay.
you to do that. But there are a couple of things here. You can take Battle Cry, which is what it sounds like. Battle Sense, which gives you bonuses to your defenses, right? Battle Cry gives you a bonus to your physical abilities, such as a +5 to all melee attack checks, +5 temporary health per stamina check, and you gain a stamina modifier as bonus damage, right? So if you were, let's say you go into battle with this one, and you're like, you know what, I'm going to make a stamina check, and you critically score with your stamina check, you could potentially have up to +50 temporary health when you go into this battle. Other ones are like discover flaw allows you to see a weakness in an opponent's in combat, their armor or their physical defenses, which gives you bonuses to hitting them. The other one that you're going to want to probably take is called improved multiple strike, and so in Legends of Kralis, everybody can strike a number of times. If they do not have the improved multiple strike, they suffer a penalty. So your first attack is a -10, your second one's a -20, third is -30, and fourth one is -40. As in a series, that would actually be 5, 15, 25, 35. You take this, it reduces the first one to absolute 0, and your next one would be a -5 instead of the standard -10 to your skill check.
Yeah, that sounds like a way to go. I've got all these arms. I want to use them.
Right. So we'll just go ahead and grab improved multiple strike. We will go back to our ability section, right? And we will throw that into our final ability there from our focus. And it basically is reduce multiple strike penalty. And I'll see if I can spell by 10 for each time you take it, for each time you've taken it, right? So if you take it at 4 times, you should have no penalties. But it'll take you 4 ranks to do that for each time taken.
Okay.
Okay.
We ain't there yet.
Yeah, we're not there yet. That is essentially it for that. Now what we're going to do is additional bonuses for you as a combat. You're going to gain a +10 health and a +10 to your physical defense. So on the first sheet, in the health points, there's a box there called maximum health. Just go ahead and put +10 there.
Alrighty.
And then a +5 in your physical defense because you're combat awesomeness right now. But what's cool about martial arts is you can choose not to use your physical defense, but use your martial arts skill as your physical defense.
Okay.
Which is kind of cool because it's generally higher than everybody's standard physical defense. So we'll get to that in a little bit here. We are essentially done with choosing your focus.
Okay. So what's after that?
Now we're gonna. So I get to this point, and this is where I basically describe how we're like 31 flavors. We've got a lot of awesomeness, and now we're going to kind of start putting it together. So we've sliced the banana. We put in your chocolate ice cream, your vanilla ice cream, and if you like strawberry, like I do, strawberry ice cream. Now we're going to add the whipped cream, the nuts, and the cherry on top, and all the other cool sugary stuff that you shouldn't be eating because it's bad.
Perfect.
Because it's good for you, but bad for you at the same time. So we're going to start off with your health checks and your health points. So we're on page 57. And like I said, all of our attribute and secondary attribute determination things are based off the size of the character. So smaller creatures are going to have less health. Larger creatures are going to have a lot more health. Medium creatures start in the middle with a base of 40. But it's 40 plus your stamina modifier plus your willpower modifier. So in this case, plus the 10 that's already there. So it's going to be 61 is your base starting health.
All right.
Now, health in Legends of Kralis is it's very vital. It's very important. Unlike, say, Dungeons and Dragons, where if you can keep doing the same thing over and over again, you suffer no penalties, but when you hit 0, you're basically dead, or you have to make a death save check 3 times. If you are at half health in Legends of Kralis, your skills and some of your attributes, all your skills are going to suffer a -3 success attempt to it. And if you're at a quarter, it's even worse. So when you go into a fight, you need to know that someone's got your back, because you can get critically hit very quickly and be dropped to a quarter of your health in one attack.
Okay.
So it's a deadly system in that sense. And so then there's also this thing called instant death, right? It's not really truly instant death. We just call it instant death because makes you frightened. If you are dropped by one attack that drops you to more than 3/4. Hey, is that Mootley? Hey, Mootley! How are you? Mootley's here. Say hi to Mootley.
Mootley is here. Hey, we were talking about you earlier.
Let's do this. There we go. Because I was looking at something else. I don't even know why it's up there. I'll look at it later. Why are you keep doing that? Stop. I don't know why it's doing that. Hi, Mootley. Glad you're here. Dave is rolling up his first character for Legends of Kralis. So far, he's choosing to be in a serious 4-armed martial artist who's strength-based. So we are going to see how things are going. So if you drop to 15 instantly, you have to make a roll called Holding 0. And Holding 0 just basically says that if you make a stamina check, you can continue to fight. However, you can only move, make one move and one other action, and then you have to make another stamina check. And if you fail, you fall over unconscious because you're now wiped out, and you're going to bleed to death at a -10 health per rank. I mean, -10 health per turn until you die.
When are you actually dead?
When you reach your stamina score and negative health.
Okay.
And that can actually be increased because some weapons also add to that bleeding damage. So you could potentially be bleeding 20 points per turn until someone can get to you to stabilize you.
So yeah, when that happens.
Yeah, going into combat, you don't want to really do that. And would you say even that happens?
So I hate when that happens.
Yeah, I hate when that happens too.
I hate when that happens.
Yeah. So next thing we're going to do is we're going to do your fatigue points. Fatigue points are really in the other fashion to think about it. It's kind of like magic points, but it's much more than that. It's really used by spellcasters to determine how long can they continue casting. In Legends of Kralis, we don't do a memorize and forget like the Vankian system, like Jack Vance's system. You can keep casting the same spell over and over and over again until you run out of fatigue, and then you pass out. So in this particular case, it's going to be your stamina modifier plus your willpower modifier, so it's going to be 81.
Yep, gotcha.
Next thing we're going to do is your defenses. Now, in Legends of Kralis, it's an active opposed system, meaning that if you get an attack, I get a defense, right? And if someone attacks you, same back and forth. So your physical defense is the first one we're going to do. It starts off with a base of 30, plus your agility modifier, plus your perception modifier, plus that, plus 5. In this case, it's going to be 39. But you're a martial artist. You're not going to need to worry about that. You're going to rely on your skill to keep you from being hit. Right? We hope.
Hopefully. We'll see.
Your magical defense is going to be 30.
So it's all right. So it's perception and agility.
Right.
Which is 8, 30. And then I had a plus 5 to that. I think.
Yeah. Sorry, you did. Sorry. So 38, 39, 44. 44. Your magical defense is 30, plus your intelligence modifier and your stamina modifier is 38.
All right.
I'm just excited to see you, Mootley. I don't get to see you very often. Glad you're here. Hope you're still hanging out. The defined defense is going to be 30 plus your charisma modifier and your wits modifier, so it's 37.
Yeah, not great.
Jinhu defense is going to be 30 plus your willpower modifier plus your intelligence modifier, so it's going to be 39.
All right.
That was left over from last night's character creation. All right, so we are basically done with that. We are going to be moving on to movement and heroic luck. So your movement is going to be a base of 15. As a medium creature, you move 15 feet per turn. I know Mootly's very much on the wrong time zone. No, that's not fair. We are in the wrong time zone for Mootly.
Somebody's in the wrong time zone.
And then your heroic luck. So heroic luck, I think we were talking about this in our conversation in a couple days ago, last week actually. Heroic luck is essentially the meta currency of the game, right? It allows you to change things. Are you familiar with Savage Worlds?
I have not played Savage Worlds.
Okay, so they have this concept called beanies. Pathfinder has heroic luck as well. We have the same thing, heroic luck. You can spend your heroic luck in any way you want. You roll something and you don't like the roll, you can change it. Roll again, spend a heroic luck. You fail or check. You critically fail it. Two heroic luck, and you can re-roll. If you are fortunate enough to have 10 heroic luck and you've been eaten by the dragon and you are essentially dead, you can go, you know what, I'm spending 10 heroic luck and I somehow miraculously survived that event. As the GM, I'd say, great, yes, the dragon actually spits you out, but you're missing an arm and a leg. You survived. Now you need to go find someone who can actually put a mechanical arm on you, a biomechanical arm on you and leg, which you can do, right? There are those things that exist. So you can actually be a mechanical, like, bionic man, or in this case, a bionics the series. Right? So that is that. Now we're going to do your starting age. Yeah, go ahead.
I was just going to say, for the heroic luck, now that just starts at your charisma mod plus your species.
There are humans, social people, and I think Elwyn begin with a little bit more heroic luck.
Okay, so what should that number be? It's
4. It's your charisma modifier.
My charisma mod is 3.
Is it 3? Did I miss? It is 3. You're right. It is 3.
That's what my character sheet tells me anyway.
So, and what's cool about heroic luck is you gain one every time you roll an +1 through +5 on a D100 roll. You gain a heroic luck. As a GM,
so it pays to suck at rolling dice.
No, it pays to be rolling really well with dice.
Oh, right, that's right. It's an under.
We're an under system, right?
Yeah.
And as a GM, if you do something that's awesome, like, dude, that's gain a heroic luck for that, right? It's a way to keep things going. Each rank, every time you rank up from first to second to third and so forth, you gain 1 heroic luck, and you can choose to buy an additional 3 heroic luck. So potentially you could each rank you could have 4 heroic luck that you can use to spend. And it's interesting, people will hoard it and then they'll spend it like candy and then they'll hoard it again. It's a crazy mechanic to watch them go back and forth.
Yeah,
it's really kind of fun. And it can change the entire outcome of the game. I've actually almost TPK'd my home game. And someone's like, nope, I'm spending heroic luck to do X. I'm like, and that just for some reason changes the whole dynamic of the table and the game, right? And things like that. So it's interesting. So now we're going to roll up your beginning age, your height, and your weight. Now, you can either roll them or we can go with averages. What do you want to do?
You know what? Let's see. We're going with what, height, weight, and age, you said?
Yes.
I wanted to go a little small, like for him, like make a little brick.
All right. So we'll get to your height and weight in a second. So do you just want to do the averages for your age? So it'd be 25.
Yeah, that works.
All right. So we'll just 25. So this is going to be on the second sheet under personal information. Oh, and since Mootly's here, and I've been wanting to say this, there's going to come a time, maybe not for you, but it happened last night for this for Selkie's first character. She's never played TTRPGs before, like I said, and she's decided to play Legends of Kralis. And she got to these particular spaces, Mootly, if you're listening, if you're still there, and she pulled Mootly moments every single time. It was on her aspects, her motivations, her background. She's just like, oh, that's good. Oh, that's even better. Oh my, and I'm like, that's Mootly moments for you. So you have an effect on the game and you don't even realize you have an effect on the game if you're there. So many choices. Yeah, so I joke about it all the time. Everybody gets there, they're like, I don't know what I'm doing. This is so good. I'm like, that's a Mootly moment. So what we're going to do here is your height and weight. Now you can be a little brick. The minimum size is going to be 4'6". That's the minimum size they can be.
Okay.
Do you just want to go minimum size?
I do.
All
All right.
right, 4'6". Again,
Where's
it's on
my?
the second sheet.
Yeah, here it is.
4'6".
4'6".
And their base weight is 150 pounds plus 5d10. The average would be 25, so it'd be 175 would be average.
All right. Yeah, I'm gonna roll the weight.
All right, let's
So
go for it.
4d10,
5d10.
5d10. We can do this. All right. 15, 20. So 20. So
170.
170. Yep.
You are a little brick. 4'6", 170 pounds. You are a brick.
Told you. He might be shifting towards a many armed E Honda.
Right. I mean, with a strength of 90, you are a solid little brick. Right. So we are done with that. You'll notice on the second sheet, your encumbrance is kind of filled in, right? So we need to finish with the maximum lift. So you can maximum lift 840 pounds. That doesn't mean you're going to be walking around with it. Doesn't mean you're going to be doing anything like that. It just means that you can max lift straight up, right?
Okay.
All right. Let's see here. Let's do a save as real quick. That way it doesn't.
So it was giving me different numbers. So the last one should be 840.
840.
Okay.
So so what do you have in there right now?
Like all the other numbers we're watching were the same, but I had just put the plus 300 into the max.
Right. Yeah. It's because that's what the series get as additional strength.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then we just added it in. Right.
Gotcha.
All right. So we are done with that. Now comes, and just let you know at the very top, since you're using the fillable, your initiative has already been calculated, and because of the martial arts technique you've actually have a base initiative of 22, which is incredibly fast.
Yeah.
Now comes.
What is the move? I've got it. I'm showing 15. Is
It
that
is
accurate?
15. So it's 15 feet per. Yeah, it's a move of 15, and you can break up your move as you like, right? In combat, it's 15 feet per turn.
Okay.
Now we're going to get to the portion that really stumps some people, mostly because of the fact that they don't know what to do. So, or what they want to choose, right? And I always tell people, choose what you feel is right for your character, right? In D&D, you have alignments, and other places you have philosophies or morals. We have a philosophy here, and we decided that philosophies, most people are either going to be good, evil, or neutral, and 90% of the population in the world is neutral, meaning they may, hey, there's $100 bill floating around here. All right, no one's around, so I'm just going to pick it up and stuff it in my wallet and move on, right? So what do you see?
What is the devoted?
What's devoted?
Yes.
So,
I see devoted good and devoted evil in addition to good, evil, and neutral.
Right. So if you choose to be, so it really matters for those who are going to be divine casters, right?
Okay.
If you're good, you have to stay good, or you will lose access to your spells from your good deity, right? They just cut you off. Like, you know what? You need to go do some penance. You're just done. And same with evil. If you decide to become devoted good or devoted evil, you gain bonuses to work against the opposite philosophy. Right.
Okay.
But that takes a lot of work. That means that you have to earn 5 philosophy points per rank, meaning you've got to be Mother Teresa to do that, or a very vile individual in evil to do that. But that doesn't necessarily mean that, you're going to go burn down the local orphanage. It might, but not necessarily.
Yeah, depends how close I am to the next one.
Right.
I'll go with good, just good.
But you're going to be good, right on. So as a good character for philosophy, you have to maintain a philosophy points of 3 philosophy points per rank. If you don't, you slip back into neutrality. And for you, that doesn't make that big of a difference, other than your personal belief. Like, God, I'm not as good as I used to be, and stuff like that. So you have to maintain that. Cool. All right, next one we're going to make you suffer through is aspects and motivations.
Right.
What This is where we decide what is the moral compass in a sense, moral aspects of Honani, and what motivates them.
Hmm. So I'm liking this unflinching.
Unflinching, right on. So we go to aspects and we will select the unflinching. And what motivates Honani?
All right. I think he's like an achiever.
So is he a mission motivated? Is he a redemption motivated? Is he a reputation motivated? Um,
I'm going reputation.
Reputation? Right.
Yep.
He likes to be known. Everybody needs to sing songs about Honani. All right. So that's kind of cool. So you're going to start off with the reputation motivation. Every character in Legends of Kralis starts off with a base reputation, mostly of 10. You've chosen reputation, so you're going to gain a +5 to your reputation. Now, there are motivations that actually reduce you down to 0, but you're going to start off with a total of 15 reputation. And reputation is the one mechanic that's kind of screwy in the sense that it's not either high nor low. If I roll as an NPC underneath your reputation, I know a true fact about you, right?
Okay.
But if I roll over your reputation, I know a true fact about you, but it's completely wrong.
Nice.
Right? Like you walk into a bar, you're like, hey, hey, I know you. Hey, aren't you that a series that took down the white dragon of the Feldo Mountains? Yes, I am. Or the opposite side, aren't you the one that just slaughtered those Kaznarks for no reason back in Cold Iron? No.
Maybe.
Maybe. Was it bad? Right. So it allows you to it allows the GM to give some role play and also for you, and it's also vice versa for the NPCs, right? You can know them and stuff. It's mostly for player characters. The next thing that we're going to pick on is 20 different backgrounds for your character. See, Mootly, not everybody has Mootly moments. Just saying. Still eating my Valentine's candy.
You know what? We're gonna go with monk to go along with the other stuff we've been doing.
Okay.
At least we would, as for sir. Doesn't want to pick monk though. Pick it. Pick it. The targeting seems a little bit off on this one.
Yeah, you have to actually hit the little down the button and then use your scroll. Actually, grab hold of the scroll bar and move it up and down.
Oh no, I did. Oh, there's some other ones down here I didn't even see. A couple. Yeah, for some reason, some of them it just doesn't want to click on, and monk is one of them.
Really, that's weird.
It is weird. It grabbed Metropolitan, the one above it. There we go. Oh, I see. I had to. I randomly started clicking on different ones, and it got me to the monk.
Interesting. All right. So, as a background for monk, you'll notice there in the gray box, there are associated skill bonuses and associated bonuses. Choose 3 out of the 6 associated skill bonuses that go with monk as a background, and those gain a +10.
Oh, where do they show up?
If you're in the characters guide in the player's guide,
okay,
on page 65.
All right. 65. Okay, so you get one of those.
No, you
I
get
am good.
you get 3
Oh, 3
plus +10 to 3 of them.
Okay. Oh, I'm looking at the wrong bonus. I'm the wrong bonus. I'm looking at the one. Okay. All right. So I will take acrobatics.
Alertness is good
Alertness.
because it allows you. It's kind of like before combat happens, you might be able to notice someone's coming. So
Yeah.
plus 10 alertness.
Alertness and. Gonna go with lore,
Okay, which one?
history.
All right, and then we'll go lore history.
Yeah.
History, and a lore, and plus 10 there. Now, of those three, you get to choose one of them to be a background focus. So it gains an additional plus 10.
I will choose alertness.
Okay.
All right.
So it's a plus 20. Now, you get to choose one of the associated bonuses, either plus 10 fatigue, plus 10 health, or plus 10 physical defense.
You know what? I thought I was going to go health, but I think I'm going to go physical defense.
Okay. Well, remember, as a martial artist, you get to use your martial arts skill as your physical defense skill instead of using the physical defense.
Oh,
So if you want to
okay.
go for that plus 10 health, you can totally do that.
All right, I will go health.
All
That
right,
makes
so
sense.
it becomes 71. Awesome. We are essentially done with your character. Now, if you want to see some really cool art that I like, page 67 gives you this is art by Brian Brenly that gives you an overview of all 15 species in one way or another. And there's the Four-Armed series that has actually his entire right side has been chomped off by a dragon, and he's got a mechanical leg and 2 mechanical arms.
I see that.
And it looks like he lost his eye.
His whole right side.
Yeah, his whole
just
right.
toast.
Probably got toasted by the dragon's breath. So that allows you to do that. So we are essentially done with this part, so the first chapter of your character creation. Now we're going to move on to skills and abilities, and we're nearly done for you. So that's awesome.
All right.
Now, before we finish, we're going to finish up that little gray box on the first page of the character sheet. It's all the basic skills that everybody has. So your jump is half your height, and in this case, it's 4'6". We'll just round it. We'll round it down to 4 foot just to make math easier. Plus 1 per every 25 strength. So you've got 3. So basically, you can jump 7 feet straight up.
All right.
Think about that. You're 4'6", and you're almost jumping twice your height straight up.
He plays basketball in his downtime,
right?
Spud Webb.
Your leap is going to be half your base movement, which is going to be we'll round that up to 8. Your lifting is going to be your strength score.
It actually filled that in
for a leap.
Yeah,
interesting. It shouldn't be
from the
doing
move. It did. I mean, it's accurate.
Yeah.
It didn't round it up, but it's accurate.
Yeah, I think you may have an older one. I think I took that out of that option because of.
Oh, so I downloaded this from the website.
Yeah, I've got to update the website stuff.
No worries.
I'm trying to do it all for everybody.
It's another thing for the list. See, that's another reason. You do a bunch of these and you figure out what needs to be fixed.
Yeah, I've done that. It'll be right in the middle. I'll spot something that no one else will spot. I'm like, that's an error.
Yeah.
Give me a second, and I'll pull up the documents and fix it, and then actually import it into the document while we're doing it. And no one will ever know that I'm actually doing it. They can't see it happening.
So
lift is lifting is just going to be your strength score, so it's 90. Your swimming, which is doggy paddling, is going to be your stamina score, so it's going to be
75.
7. Right? So we'll round it up to 8.
Okay.
Your throw should already be in there at 73.
Yep.
Your fear is going to be your willpower modifier, which is 84. Your horror is going to be your wits, which is going to be 70 plus the 10 that you get. So it's going to be 80. And your stamina your poison is going to be 75. Now you are immune to poisons A, B, and C, but D or the higher list you're not immune to.
Okay.
Okay. Now we're going to choose your skills. So every character starts off with 6 skills plus their intelligence modifier and total skills. In this case, for you, Dave, it is going to be a total of 9 skills plus the one that you get for free combat. Okay. Now
Okay.
there are, like as I said it earlier, there's 2 types of skills. There's trained and untrained. When you become trained in a skill, it starts at a base of 40 plus the attribute modifier. If you're not trained in a skill, it's 30 plus the attribute modifier. And that actually, that untrained kind of goes up a little bit every so often as you get higher in rank. So your untrained skills become better for you. So you get 9 skills. So we're going to go to page 77. And these are all the skills that we have in Legends of Kralis currently. I don't think we're ever going to, we might make an adjustment here and there, but that will be on the website under Legends and Lore that we've added new skills. So as a combat focused individual, if you remember, I said 4 skills. You can choose up to 4 skills within combat skills to gain a +10. That's your focus. If you choose not to do that, you can choose 2 general skills to become a focus for you. So one of the ones right off the bat is going to be martial arts, and it's going to be it should be a focus. So we're going to go to the martial arts. We're obviously going to use your strength modifier. So it's going to be 40 plus the focus plus your strength modifier. So it's going to start off at 58.
Okay.
Okay. And that's now you can decide to either take that away from your 9 skills or use your you have to take it as from your normal skill, so it leaves you with 8, but you gain 1 additional free combat skill. So you can actually pick up a weapon if you like. And based off of what I've got here, I would suggest a strength weapon. And I actually think there's one that's actually called. Let me just double check. I think it's part of. Where am I?
Either brass knuckles.
You can actually have brass knuckles, but that's not a. That's actually not a
weapon.
Craft.
So
It's
weapon craft.
Weapon. It is a weapon, but it's it just adds to your base damage with you when you use your fists.
What is this weapon craft? Is that just a weapon skill?
It's a weapon skill.
Okay.
You're very you're well trained in skills. So there is one called is it chains? I've got to actually take a look at it real quick. There's one thing that's called what's called the meteor hammer.
Nice.
Which I love the what it does. I don't know if it's a chain weapon though. Yeah, it's a chain weapon, which means that I don't think
it's also an agility based weapon.
It's an agility based weapon. So you can still take it chains as an agility based weapon, right? And use a meteor hammer. You just won't be able to you won't use your strength bonus, your strength modifier as a bonus damage to it. But you can definitely take that.
So, I'm looking at some of these other weapons, gunnery, siege weapons. Does that come up in the game often?
Siege weapons?
And gunnery, is gunnery like on is it in the context of this world? What is gunnery?
Gunnery is a heavy weapons, meaning it's the elemental blasters, elemental cannons, the trebuchets, catapults that are on that are both by themselves or part of a ship. So if you're in the void or on an airship, those things actually exist. And you would have to.
I'm going to take I'm going to go with the heavy weapons.
Which one, gunnery or siege?
Gunnery, yeah.
Wow, interesting.
Yeah, you know what? When he's mixing it up, I think he's mixing it up. But so that's why I'd rather just take something, maybe a little bit something different.
Right. These are considered intelligence-based weapons, so it's going to be intelligence. You're going to put INT in the small one, and then heavy weapon there, and so that'll be 40 plus your intelligence, so it'd be 53 if you want to focus in it.
Okay.
You are the first person to actually take heavy weapons in
Nice.
all the character creations that I have. In several people that are actually void pirates or airship pirates, no one has taken heavy weapons. So they're going to hire people to actually fire them for them, right? But
He's the guy that gets hired to fire them. So
yeah, they take pilots a lot to make sure they can pilot those things. All right, so now that takes care of your free additional skills. We'll crash that out. You have 8 skills left. And like I said, you can still focus on some combat skills, or you can focus in 2 general skills if you so like.
All right. So, and there's not that many combat skills being. So, I think I want to take other skills anyway.
Right.
Oh, what is brawling?
Brawling is brawling. Literally, it's martial arts is the martial arts fine of it. Brawling is literally throwing punches, picking up a chair, and whacking people with it.
Okay, so that would have been a different. So I think I'm gonna take alertness.
Okay, so you want to make that a focus skill. So that would be 40, 50, 70. And what I do, just so from my knowledge, is I'll put parentheses FS there as a focus. That way I know it's a focus skill.
Okay. 70, does that include the plus 20?
That includes the plus 20, yeah. Because it's 40, 50 for the focus, and then 20 makes it 70. So you're down to 7 skills, my friend.
All right. Oh, that's why that's a acrobatics can be strength based as well. Well, I'm already good at it, so I'm going to take acrobatics as well.
Okay, so acrobatics cannot be a focus skill for you though.
Oh, okay.
Right. It's only either general or combat for you at this moment. You can still take acrobatics. Don't get me wrong. It just won't gain the plus 10 focus.
But I'm not there yet. All right, gotcha.
Would karma be axes? I mean, commas? No, those would actually be something else. While he's doing that, I'll go figure that out. Comma.
All right, so I'm going to take climb
as a focus.
I'm going to take climb as a focus.
And obviously strength.
Obviously strength.
58. And that's a focus skill. And that's the end of your focus skills. And you have 6 skills left. Now, some of the ones that are really natural that people need to take. You've already got alertness. Convince, skepticism, and search are some of the other ones that I generally recommend to people because those come up in a lot. Like if you can walk into a room, what do you see? Well, you see a TV on the wall, you see a refrigerator over there, you see some cabinets. All right. I really want to look in this room. Okay, well then that's going to be a perception check. However many successes you get. Okay, you notice that one of the paintings is kind of tilted. Search is you're tossing the couch to look for things. Right? You're pulling the rug, you're taking the TV off the wall, you're doing whatever it is to do a good search.
So the difference between the focus skills and what I'm taking now is these are 10 points lower. Is that what it is?
Yeah, they will be a total of 40.
Okay, so I'll take swimming. So is it 30? So it's 30 plus the modifier, so 35.
No, it'll be 40. 40, not 30. Okay. Because it's trained. All trained skills begin with 40. If it's a focus, it starts 10 higher.
Oh, okay, gotcha. That's where I was mistaken. All right.
We don't have. Well, I think Tekken is what I think is what stabs are. Give me a second. No, we don't have comma actually in Legends of Greatless. So you're taking swimming?
Yeah, I took swimming. I'll take riding.
Okay.
And I will take search.
Okay, that brings you down to 3 skills left.
3 left. All right.
Don't forget about the plus 10s that you have to your interrogate, gaming, and haggle, and your convince. Don't let those, and your acrobatics. Don't let those slip by.
Yeah, but I'm still in general, right? I can only take from the general.
No, you can take no. So it's my miscommunication. Your
Uh,
focuses are
mhm.
combat or general. That's what gives you a plus 10 to
Okay.
those. But you can take any skill from anything.
Okay.
So
So
do you
in
want to
that
rethink
case,
that? You want to rethink that?
so now I'm going to take acrobatics.
All right. Do you want to start over with those 6 skills?
Not yet.
Okay.
I'll pick 3 and then decide. Pick the
Okay.
3 and then decide.
So
So that
acrobatics
is a
strength.
58.
It would be 40, 58. That's correct because you have a plus 10
Okay.
bonus there.
All right. Then I will take my lore history for one of them, and that's going to be int. So
43
that's going to
and
be
53.
43, 53.
And one left.
I will take haggling.
All right. So that's going to be
53.
53 as well.
Okay. And then, so that means gaming then is a 30, 40, 43.
Untrained. Yeah. So it'd be 43.
Yeah. All right. Yeah, that's cool. I'm good with that.
Your convince would also be a 40.
Oh, yeah. I can use strength.
43. You can convince somebody. Like, you know what? I mean,
I think that's how, I believe that is how he convinces. So it's a 48.
That's 48. Untrained again.
Untrained.
So when you take these, if you at the next rank, you're like, you know, I do want to be trained. It can never go up, right? It can never go up, right? It'll
Okay.
always be what it is. But you could take it. You can take skills at the next rank and say, I do want to train those, and it'll go up by plus 10 only, though.
Okay. Two. Or if you're, I don't know if your stats go up.
Your stats do go up, but it has to be a huge change. It's generally because we're using a base 50. So
Right.
51 through 55 is a 156 through 60 is a plus 2 up like that. So your strength will go up once you reach a 95 or 96. It'll go up to a modifier of 9, and then it affects all the skills, right? Whatever associated bonuses with that, it affects that as well.
Ooh.
So it's a minor increase, but not a major increase.
All right. So is that it for skills? Are we done with skills?
You still have your interrogate hanging out there. So we'll go ahead and give that as a 40. And do you want to use your wits? It doesn't. Yeah, wits. Yeah, interrogate. Do you want to use your wits or your what?
Well, let's see. Oh, yeah.
The
What are
best
my
bonus gives
options?
you a is your wits.
Wits, charisma, and int. Is that what that
Yeah,
is?
intelligence. Yeah.
Yeah. Yep. So we'll go with wits.
All right. So it gives you a base of 44, and we are done with skills.
Okay.
Now, remember, I said at the beginning of the broadcast at the stream, all characters start out with 5 abilities. Now you get to choose your first ability that you must meet the prerequisites for, and it's actually going to help set your merit table that you need for that. So what we will do is on page, we're going to go back a little bit so we can go forward. So go to page 69.
All right. Nice.
I really need to do that one day, Mootly, when I have the time, is to go through every single time we've gotten to this page. And when I say 69, everybody going, because everybody does it. Everybody does it. I'm like,
You knew it was coming.
yeah, it's like,
Like,
so I just
why
wait
every
for it.
time?
Why?
Why am I surrounded by 12-year-olds?
I don't care they were surrounded by 12-year-olds. I think it's cool, but it's funny how, how immersive that number is in our culture, right? And things like that.
Yeah.
It's like everybody laughs at that. All right. So as in a series, you're going to start off with a base of 1,600 merit points that you're going to need. So under personal information on the second sheet, there is a line there. It starts off with species merit cost. This is the one thing that's not going to change for you. It's always going to be 1,600.
Species merit cost 1,600.
Campaign merit cost will go up by your rank. So every rank, it's going to go up by 400. So it starts off with a base of 400.
Oh no, why is it not? It doesn't want to take the number for my merit. Oh, that worked.
So, like in a lot of games that have levels,
Mhm.
you can play Legends of Kralis without levels. You absolutely can. Um, you can do that, but it's one of those things that uh, we use it to regulate or determine when people can actually get things. But you can play without levels or ranks at all. But we have a merit system compared to an experience system. Um, and it's individualized. So you may take 2,500 merit points to go up, where the Mannix next to you is only needs 1,900 to go up, or whatever, right?
Mhm.
It's a personalized per rank each time you go up, whether you go up, how much it's going to take you to go up a rank, and the higher the rank is, the longer it's going to take you to get there, right? Um, and things like that. So your ability merit cost we haven't chosen yet, but we're going to come back and take care of it. Right now, you would need a total of 2,000 merit to go up, and generally that's about a session, maybe a session or two for you to go up to the next rank. Right off the bat.
Okay.
Welcome back out of prep. So now we're going to choose your first ability, and as a combat focus. Now, here's the cool thing about this: you can choose a combat focus one, or you can choose an ability from any of the other abilities categories that we have. If it's not a combat or a general ability, it's going to cost you an additional 500 merit to on your chart. That makes
Okay.
sense, right? So on page, not well. Take a look at page 97. This is art by Joseph Garcia, who's an incredible artist, and this is actually a martial artist, Leonis Jakara, jumping into the middle of a bunch of Oku using
Oh,
combative
nice.
leap. Yeah. But on page 99 is the combat abilities index. We do this that way people can look at an ability and say, "Oh, I really want that," or "I don't want that," or I meet this," without having to go search and flip back and forth in pages, right?
Okay.
As a martial artist, you could start off with a martial discipline, but you would actually need chanting for that to be able to actually use it. Martial style snake or martial arts tiger would be the one you'd be able to easily qualify for, because you need a 75 in strength or agility, and you're almost there with agility, but you definitely make it for strength.
Okay.
And then there's also things like martial arts weapons master, which you get bonuses to using specific weapons, um, things like that. Then there's also that's it for martial artists. Now, there's another thing that you could be using. Let's see here. Do you have it? Willpower of 84. So there's another thing called Kujirakai focuses, which allows you to channel your personal energy for uses. Like you can create your own armor around you, like a shield, right? In a
Mhm.
sense. And it's on page 105 if you want to check that out. It's really kind of cool.
Okay.
So you can either do a power attack, a Kujirakai armor, uh, the reach attack, a finesse attack. You can heal your own self, or you can do
So,
a strike.
so I already have martial arts techniques,
Right.
right? Okay. So it's not like you can like just keep taking the same thing.
You can, but only every rank. Right. So you can come
Okay.
back to martial arts techniques next rank and say, you know what, I want to take butterfly defeats dragon technique. All right. And
And
you
in
would go
order
for
to
it.
get dragon, you have to be tier two, rank two.
Right, you'd have to be a rank two, because every
Okay.
rank you get a new ability, or you can purchase another level in a rank, so long as you meet the rank requirements. Like some of the abilities have multiple tiers in them. They start with hero, then they go to epic. I'm sorry, it's hero, legend, legendary, epic, and then paragon. And those are first, fifth, 10th, and 15th rank is when those become open to you.
Okay. Yeah, I'm kind of digging the armor one since I don't really see this guy wearing armor.
All right, so you can take the Kujirakai Focus, and this one you come back like on second rank, you can take the power attack, and then you have options, right? You can do one or the other, right? It's kind of cool. So Kujirakai Focus Armor. So what I will do is I would go back to your character sheet, your
All
under
right.
abilities, and I would type in Kujirakai Focuses, and I would put in armor, which basically allows you to have a +5 armor absorption for 25 points of willpower. All right.
So 3.
So per 25 willpower. So it would be 15 at this point. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. When it reaches 100, it becomes 20.
Okay, so that we just put that 15 and put that in.
Yeah, you could put that in armor absorption, and Kudra armor, right? And armor
Yeah,
absorption
that's
of
what I did.
15. But you have to I think on this one. Yeah, so it doesn't stack with any other armor that you may
Yeah.
have. So it's either one or the other, but it's always on until you actually put on other armor. And it kind of like goes,
Okay.
well, you don't need me anymore, and kind of turns off.
Ooh.
That is that. And it's a base of 500 for your merit. So on the second sheet where we have the ability merit cost, we'll put 500 there. So you need a total of 2,500 to go up to second rank. And we are nearly done with you as a martial artist. The next thing we need to figure out is how much
Does
money.
anything go in the campaign merit cost?
Yeah, 400. And that's going to always change. That's always going to go up by rank. So at second rank it'll be 800. At third rank it'll be 12, so on and so forth.
Gotcha. Okay.
Next we're going to do is find out how much money you start off with.
Oh, the monies.
So we're going to go to page 161. As a monk, you've decided to take a vow of poverty for a moment. You're going to start off with a base of 450, and then you're going to roll a D100, roll as low as you can, and maybe the gods were good to you. Go for it.
All right. That's a 37.
So that's about average where everybody's been rolling. So you're starting off with 900 with 1,000 silver pieces that you can spend on yourself as a first-rank character.
I actually see this guy as being kind of minimalistic anyway.
Right. Absolutely. So you can't wear armor as a martial artist. Just can't. Just it's a limit there. But you can have weapons. So what we're gonna do here is, actually you took heavy gunner. So never mind. You're not gonna be walking around like
I just have a cannon I want to carry around.
Kind of like that scene in Guardians of the Galaxy 2 with her carrying the cannon just firing at her sister, right?
Yeah. Wait a minute. How much is a cart?
How much is a cart?
And I just need a cart and a cannon.
And a cannon. You can actually buy those. They're expensive though. Very expensive.
I imagine they would be.
Very expensive, but you can potentially.
Wait a minute. How much is a cannon?
A cannon itself.
What is this cheapest gunnery?
Let's see here. I think it's going to be under heavy weapons, I believe. Firearms and heavy weapons. A cannon will cost you 500 silver pieces, and it weighs 1,300 pounds.
See, I'm there. Like I just need
yeah, you just almost. I just
need a cart to drag it around.
Right, exactly. Push it around in front of you. I got it.
I block the wheels, and then
good luck with it, right?
That's it.
Right on. I like where you're going with that. That's actually funny.
I don't actually see it on the sheet on the
page 181.
I see firearms and I see pistols and large rifles.
Page 181.
Oh, 181.
Right, it's just a couple pages down from firearms. And it has a base damage of 6. It takes 2 turns to reload it, though. You get one good shot off, and that's it.
That's fine.
Crush you.
I'm buying a small cannon.
Are you serious?
Yes.
You're buying a small cannon. All right, you're down to 400. 400. He's got a cannon. He's gonna be walking around with a cannon. I don't know how you're gonna do it, but we'll figure it out.
So, oh, yeah, look, I got another 500 silver pieces here. How much for a small cart?
A small cart.
Yeah. Wait a minute. This cannon here is on wheels.
That one's on wheels.
I want a wheelie version.
Well, you can have one that you're gonna have to push around. You're just gonna be
yeah.
Everybody. All right, so you have a cannon that you can push around.
I got a cannon that push around.
Will not be allowed in cities, by the way, or towns or other places like that. Because why would you have a cannon? You're kind of weird. Yeah. Why do you have a cannon?
Yeah.
All right. So in your gear, cannon. Put that in there. Small. Has a base damage of 6. So you own a cannon, but you don't own all the stuff to actually. Can you reload faster with extra arms? No, it's just a standard 2. But you don't have any cannonballs.
Not yet. You got to work your way up to the cannonballs.
It's like I got my cannon, I just don't have the cannonballs.
Basically. Wait, how much is that? I mean, how much is the stuff to actually fire my cannon?
For that, you're taking me way off my brain track. I'm not used to it.
You're like nobody tried to buy a cannon before.
Let's see here. I would actually have to go to. So there is a place where you can actually build your own ships and stuff, right? So I've got weapons and armament. Ballista cannon. So. Six. Once every 2 turns. So with the material and everything for a cannon that has everything, that has a number of cannonballs with it, would be 1,000 silver pieces. You actually asked a question that I didn't even think about. So now I have to go through here and go to the into the player's guide and change this up. And actually, how much does 1 cannonball cost me? Oof. So I'm actually going to go in there and actually add that. Thank you, Dave.
You're welcome.
That.
That's all he owns. He's got nothing else but his cannon.
He's got his cannon and
some cannonballs.
Oh, this is crazy.
Right.
Open. I've gotta just give me a second. I've actually got to open up the file so I don't forget to do that because I was not. Thank you. I think.
Yeah. You're like, no one takes gunnery.
No one takes gunnery, and no one's gonna buy a cannon and put it in and push it around. It's just not gonna happen. What?
Who does that?
Who does that? He does. All right. So yeah, actually, I'm gonna have to go in there. What page are we on? That's page 206. Page 206.
You're lucky I'm broke, or I was gonna buy a donkey to put my cannon on.
The donkey wouldn't have been able to carry it. Are you kidding me? So I'm actually gonna have to figure out the price of what these things actually cost. So
Cuddy is adventuring to get his war elephant so he can put his cannon on the back of it.
So did you see that where you can actually buy an elephant?
I did.
Yeah, I actually had to change up the price of an elephant because one character's like, I want to buy an elephant as my steed at first rank. I'm like, no. Well, it's that much. Okay, I'm gonna change the price on it because no.
See, I'm not the first one to stump you. Then
no, you're not the first, but you're the first to go the route of the cannon.
Had I gone before that guy, I'd have been like, okay, I'm gonna buy my cannon and the elephant, and put it on it,
and just arm it, right? So you're basically walking in.
You're like,
you have a cannon on your elephant.
You're like, you can't go in town with that. I'm like, they're gonna have to explain to me and my elephant why we can't come into town.
Why? Because you own a cannon. Cannon. What do you plan on doing with your cannon while you're visiting the Doroshiba? Right. Okay. Well. Yeah. So, but you don't have any other gear. All you have is a diaper.
That's it. That's all he's got.
That's all. He's got a cannon, and we'll say you've got 10 cannonballs
He took his vow of poverty.
and a wagon because you're gonna need a wagon to carry your cannons. um. Okay. Weird. I could work with it. You just wouldn't be able to take it down into dungeons or into certain cities. Yeah, but it works. So that's it, David. We're done.
Cool.
What'd you think?
I like it. It's pretty cool. The process is cool. I can see that you can come up with a lot of different things for sure. The a lot of possibilities. And it was not bad for my first building my first character.
Well, right, and I know that you like that you when we talked last that you're someone that likes light crunch or low crunch.
Yeah.
This was so what we did is we designed the biggest part of the crunch of the system, front loaded it into the character creation. So now you have a character that's fully developed. You've got background, you've got all the kind of stuff that you need to be able to go in. And now when you get into the game, it's just a matter of just rolling 2d10 and rolling as low as you can. That's it.
I appreciate you taking me through the process and let me check it out.
I appreciate you allowing me to torture you for an hour and 4. So this has actually been the fastest character creation I've ever done with somebody that is not new or doesn't know the Kralis system.
Well, I mean, they probably bought equipment, which probably took some time.
Well, actually, they didn't go through like the list. What they'll do is they'll go buy an adventuring pack, and that's it, right?
Yeah.
And other ones are taking spells and learning how to do that and stuff like that.
Yeah, that stuff would take longer.
So our next step is to get you into a one-shot when you have the time.
Yeah, we could definitely figure that out at some point. Let me know.
Yeah, absolutely. I know a lot of people would love to play with you that are local, that are not Mootley, who was in Australia.
Yeah.
I bet
I don't even know what time it is. I don't even know what time it is in Australia right now. I know when they play with us in our Tuesday night game, it's morning, I think. Or is it afternoon? Maybe it's like noon.
So current time in Australia. I actually had to look this up several times to work with her. It's 2:09 in the afternoon on a Friday.
Yeah, time travel.
Right? Weird. International dateline. So yeah, it's got to be interesting when and she sacrifices a lot of her availability and stuff. So she's like up at like 6 a.m. to play a game with you.
Yeah.
Right? She's crazy, and she's just an amazing individual, and I'm glad I get to call her a friend. Stuff like that. Gravel make great bucket shots. So you can't see this on the Discord, on the Twitch, but Out of Print, who's been with us this pretty much the entire time, just basically says, pack it through with a lot of gravel. It makes great buckshot.
Yeah, there you go. I mean, I actually have it pulled up on the Twitch stream, but I could see the chat. Cool.
All right. Well, again, David, thank you so much for allowing me to introduce you to the world of Legends of Kralis. It's still on the Kickstarter. We're not doing as good as I'd like. I think I don't know why. I crossed all the T's and dotted all my I's as best as I could. And I'm not sure if it's because I launched a new game system in February. All the research says that I should have launched on a Tuesday at 8 a.m. in May.
Yeah. Which day of the week did you launch?
Tuesday at 1 p.m. on February 1st, which was a Tuesday.
So, we live and we learn.
Yeah, we live and we learn. And if you've got any advice off screen about how to do that better, let me know. I've got a lot of people that have actually backed it and stuff like that. We were just trying to get to 15,000 so I could actually do some other cool stuff with it. But yeah, I don't know. We're going to relaunch again in May if we are unable to fund in the last week. I'm going to let the clock run out on it. And I have learned a lot as a Kickstarter. So yeah, but if you have any expert advice, off screen and let me know. That way I can apply it to my
Sure.
next run and stuff like that.
I've at this point I've done one more Kickstarter than you. So.
But that's more experience than I have, right?
Yeah.
And stuff like that.
My advice is like, all right, start a mildly successful YouTube channel. Do that for about 5 years, and then
well, that's what what am I thinking? MCDM.
Matt Colville.
Matt Colville, right? Sorry, Matt Colville did. You know, he started that. You know, how to run the game, and then he came out with his first book,
Followers and Strongholds. That was the first book.
And then they did this Kingdoms and stuff like that. And it's just he's doing Arcadia, and I'm like, man, I am way behind the ball.
You're right. Step one, be Matt Colville. Be a Matt, right? A Matt Mercer or Matt Colville. You have to be a Matt. That's the step one.
Right. Change your name to Matt.
Yeah.
Right? And stuff like that. All right, David, we're gonna let you go. Thank you. I know it's kind of late at your time. Thank you so much for hanging out with me tonight.
Thank you.
Again, if you have any advice on the Kickstarter, hit me up. I'd be glad to listen very carefully to what you have to say. Until next time, say goodbye, David.
Stay nerdy.
Stay legendary, stay healthy, and stay safe. And we'll talk to you guys soon. Peace.